Hello fellow academics and welcome back to Going Medieval. We're still on the quest of beating the new AI in the new settlement of Hawkshaw with our main character Allan. Playing on Lone Wolf, very hard difficulty, so let's go. Doing the same as we usually do, we're gonna have him equip the short bow and the cap. Short bow so he can go hunting, cap so he's feeling a little bit better about himself, I guess. So let's have a quick look at Allan. Allan has a relatively good botany skill and an okay construction skill, but the interesting part about him is he really loves the intellectual stuff. So he will be our resident academic, hopefully at least, moving forward in this playthrough. Alright, we do have our loyal companion called Teddy. Teddy will be responsible for hauling and be directly assigned to Allan. And while we're in the overview screen, we're going to go into resources, the animal carcasses, and then select the deers to be hauled. And actually, we're going to set it to be hauled as high priority. So that is this. Next thing we're going to have a look at. Allan apparently really likes to haul stuff around. We're going to tell him to not do that. Instead, he should focus on harvesting and cutting plants for now, because that will be his first jobs. So we're gonna set these to be haulable, and then we're gonna make sure we're harvesting all the grass over here or hay, the berries over this way. We do have some herbs over here and some barley over there. Now, full disclosure, I've actually played this episode once before, but because me changing some things on the recording process, I lost the video. So, excellent. We're also going to make sure that these stones over here will be haulable, and we're going to set some of them as actually high priority, because once we put down the... Hello? Or I guess we're not. Oh, I guess we first need to actually get a stockpile in. Oh, now I think I understand. Alright, so... in the past playthrough, I've figured out this place might be a nice one to utilize, because when I was looking at the images from the developer on how the external settlements are actually looking like, and yes, that's the new update where we can actually go and rate them, so fingers crossed we'll actually get to that point. But one thing that I've noticed is that all the external settlements have walls that are 2 levels high. So we're going to give that a try in order to beat the AI. Now, why this particular piece of rock is it's already 1 high all around. It only has 1 entrance, and it actually is a decent amount of space right here that we can utilize to do things. So first thing we're going to do is set down a default stockpile over here. So Teddy has something to haul. And one thing that I've noticed last time, if you don't have a stockpile, and select these to be high priority in hauling, they actually won't do it. We didn't know that last time, but because I couldn't select these as high priority, and that should work out now just fine. Or not. Alright, let's have Allan do some stuff. Let's have the whole system start up. We're now gonna... okay, now we can high prioritize it. Interesting. And that probably means we need to go into the overview all the way back to the bottom. Yep, set this to high priority. And if the developers ever watch this, have a look. Maybe that doesn't need to be so complicated, but maybe that's also hard to implement. I am not judging, because I know how hard it can be to try to code something in the exact way that you want it to, while, yeah, still ultimately just winging it. Alright, Allan will be busy harvesting and chopping down the trees over here, which will give us a little bit of time in order to plan the beginning of our settlement here. Because we're in the mountain range, we're gonna build everything with limestones, and in order for our food supply here not to be eaten by the foxes right away, we're gonna make sure that we have an initial room over this way that we can utilize, first of all, for sleeping, and second of all, to prevent the foxes or any other wild animals from running in. Last time I played this, the recording that unfortunately got lost, yeah, I lost some time because I had to fight off a fox who was trying to eat all of our stuff. Right. With that, the initial building is in. So, and most importantly, it will be 2 levels high from all the way around. We do have some overhanging walls, and we're going to fix these later, building a little bit support underneath, just making sure that the area will be, or the base layer will be fully supportive of our second level floor system that we will be building. All right. So Allan is gonna go and get some resources to build this. I guess Teddy hasn't started hauling these yet. He's been busy with the deer. I guess that is all right. Let's just make sure that Allan builds the right walls first. I want him to build this. He is already working on this. Very nice. What is he doing now? Yeah, I don't want you to eat right now. Sorry, mate. Instead, prioritize building that door. And once you've built that door, we're prioritizing building the wall right next to it, or in the middle of doing all of this. Here we go. In the meantime, actually, Teddy has brought over the food, which definitely helped us as well. All right. He can now keep constructing. It is 5 p.m. That reminds me, let's go into our schedule, and instead of sleeping, let's have him work throughout the night if he has to. And you know, it's a merit-based culture, so if he finishes building his house before midnight, he gets to sleep. If not, he needs to work. I think that's fair. Alright, so what else is coming from over here? I'm hoping Teddy brings over... Nah, he is busy doing other stuff. Wonder why he brought over them food. Yeah, anyways. Alright, Allan, here you go. Coming along quite nicely, I want to say. Also make sure we're already constructing this before he runs away again, because we have some wood over this way. So that should be pretty quickly doable. And now he can just grab the remainder. What is he grabbing? He's grabbing the straw. So instead of just grabbing the straw... Ooh, ignite. Interesting. We're gonna do some hauling, because then he picks up a lot more of it and brings it all back, which will be beneficial in the long run when we want to build some more of this. Now, I'm saying build some more of this, but ultimately, I don't think we will anytime soon. Alright, so he has brought this over. Now he's getting other material for construction. Well, I guess fair enough. But we have all the deer in, which is awesome. They're just sitting out in the wild. Less awesome, but it will do. We have 5 days of putting something in for this area to be in better shape. Good. Teddy has also brought over some stone, 45, that will actually... There might be enough for most of the roof, to be honest. Where are you going? Okay, you're building the brazier. Brazier? No, definitely not brazier. Brazier. Cool. So, Allan has almost worked through the night. He will definitely work through the night before he gets to sleep. Let's make sure we have at least 2 more hours of work. I want him to finish this room, because he will be a lot happier if he sleeps in his own quarters rather than underneath the open sky. Don't quite get it, because it is beautiful to sleep underneath the open sky, but it might be a little bit cold with -1 Celsius. That's what, 30 Fahrenheit-ish? Maybe 29. Anyways, he is done now. So let's make sure we set this to sleep. And this to anything. What are you doing? You're hauling stuff now. Actually, I'd prefer you just chop down this tree. And while he is doing that, we're gonna plan the rest of our building. I'm actually going to pause for a second. So this area here will become our Great Hall. So we're just gonna plan this all the way around. And again, a little bit of overhang on both sides, but that is okay. We will need a door over here because this will become our kitchen area. And then we will need a door over this side. Well, just to have an entrance, basically. We're going to place it relatively at the edge. We could actually place it here. No, let's put it here. That's fine. And we're also going to make sure that we have some windows in this room, just so it's a little bit nicer for people to be in there. All right. Next thing that we need to do with this building, the usual, we need to put some supportive pillars in the middle. So we're going to do exactly that. And then we're going to set some limestone floor on the top as a roof. And with that, we have basically the full area here sorted out. Now, we are out of food now. So that also means we should place some some manufacturing buildings. One is the butchering table. Once you're done eating. When you're eating so long, go ahead and chop down these trees. And after this one more. So we can set him to, actually go back into jobs, set this to level 2 now. Which means he should start constructing things. No, where are you going, mate? First, the food stuff. Because we want to make sure you actually eat some, well, something. Anything, to be honest. Once this is in, we're going to prioritize the construction of the fireplace. In the meantime, we're going to set this to the usual until you have 30 raw meat. And then we're also going to go ahead and set cooking as the primary job. Because we really need the food. And then make some food until you have 3 of them, while not taking any red currant or barley. Barley is already in there, the red currants are not. So let's go over here and make sure we high prioritize this for hauling, which will ultimately help preserve these bits and pieces. Also set these 2 to be harvested, although I don't quite know if we have enough time for him to do all of this. Okay, he just threw some stone in the walls before actually cooking. Fair. 4 pieces of meat, I like that. He already put one in his pocket, sweet. And now he is building our future Great Hall. These support pillars, they will be replaced sooner or later with the wooden beams going across. But for now, we don't have the science or the time to actually do this. So, support pillars it is. Alright, sip of coffee for me. While Allan is working hard, it is 7 p.m. Let's look at the schedule. We have put him back to sleeping okay. I want to make sure you're not locking yourself out here. Good thing I did. There we go. And this little piece here, we might just mine away. I think that makes sense, because otherwise we would have had to weirdly build it out and kind of encroach into our future kitchen. So just mining these 2 pieces, I think, will be fine. Alright, otherwise he is getting resources. Oh, that reminds me, this will be done pretty soon. Let's actually high prioritize this so Teddy can go and pick it up. And over here we have more of the limestones. So we're gonna allow all of this. And then also high prioritize at least the ones on the top here. Alright. With that, Allan called it a day. Fair. It is midnight. And we do want him to be happy enough so, you know, he gets to sleep. We should nonetheless think a little bit more about his overall happiness. So we're gonna put a table in here. And in addition to the table, 1 chair. So he actually gets to eat at a table, which I think he'll be very happy about. Once it turns 4 o'clock, there we go. I'm already gonna instruct him to build the table. Where are you going? You're gonna go all the way there to pick up wood? I don't think so, mate. So let's chop down one tree and another tree. And while we're at another tree... Actually, yeah, let's do a couple more, because we need to build more entertainment things for him. So... Oh man. You're hungry, consume. Once you're done, we're chopping one more tree. Then we're gonna haul all of this in, and then we can focus on him creating the table to actually eat at the table. Now we kind of missed the opportunity to have him eat at the table right away, but that's also okay. Also build the stool, and then we're gonna put in the entertainment backgammon table that you can be working on right away. And he is a Oak Brethren person, so we're gonna also place the Oak Brethren shrine in there, so he can also start praying once, well, I guess once he's done playing. Playing first, I guess, before praying. Makes sense. Yes. Entertainment needs fulfilled. Here we go. I'm hoping this should be enough wood to... It is not. So close. How much is it? 58. It wasn't actually that close. Alright, now let's go ahead and prioritize building your shrine. So again, you can be a little bit happier. The happier you are, the less I have to deal with you potentially becoming rebellious. Did you just eat a roasted meat? Ah. Alright, time to pray. Not deprived of it anymore, but it hasn't been fulfilled yet, so we're gonna have him keep doing that. In the meantime, Teddy can actually bring in some more wood, not wood, stone, which will make our life also a little bit easier. Alright, and back to constructing our future Great Hall. I don't think he will be able to finish that this day, but... he didn't need to chop that away. Okay. Let him produce the meat, so we don't need to think about that anymore. And in the meantime, he can do the remainder. Do we have some more wood? We have 23, and we need 30, I think, for these doors. Yeah, we need 30 for both of them. Alright. Also, one thing that we need to consider is putting a little bit of flooring system around here, so our food doesn't spoil as quickly, as well as our barley and berries. And you know what? I might actually have him work a little bit longer again tonight. He did have a good amount of sleep. I think I get to say that, which is fine. Getting resources for construction. What? Oh, I see. Then instead chop down this tree right here, and then we're gonna prioritize hauling all of the wood over, which means you get enough wood for both of these doors. Prioritize constructing it right now. There we go, door is in. And he gets to work some more on the roofing and the remainder of the walls. Right, let's also allow that. Apparently it doesn't matter. Wonder what happened to the sticks. Oh, it just moved one over. Okay, cool. Settlers are exhausted. Alright, let's have him actually sleep a little bit if he's already exhausted, because otherwise he'll get very cranky very quickly. He's sleeping fine. It is -3 degrees on top of the fire, where you usually, grill meat and stuff. It's -2, which is, what, 28 20, 27 Fahrenheit. So, yeah, I don't think so. But fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Still wish they would fix the part where your pets are actually not sleeping in the same room as you. And I don't quite understand why this is not happening. Because shouldn't they, when they are tired, just go close to their person and then sleep there? But anyways. More coffee for me. And then we'll focus on the remainder of this Great Hall. Right. Very soon, the merchant should actually come in. It always happens like a couple days in, and I forgot, maybe it's 5 days in. Or it could actually be as part of the 4th day. And then we need to prioritize actually making a little bit more food. Because that is what we're gonna sell to the merchant. In the hope that we're getting some alcohol to make Allan a little bit happier. Although he doesn't seem to be desperately thirsty, which is good. Although that might still come. Who knows? Alright, all the walls are in now. He's working on the last door, and then he can focus on the roofing of the building completely. Maybe he also adds some of the flooring as well. The deer are still doing okay. So I'm not too worried about that. We should also make sure we have some roofing, not flooring, underneath our military stuff. Because they will also decay, unfortunately, decompose. Don't know why they would decompose so quickly. I mean, yes, they're wood, but they're technically underneath a rooftop, on stone. So, yeah. Anyways. Room is coming together quite nicely. It looks like actually the merchant is coming the next day, not this one. Which I'm very excited about. Because we probably need the full day to wrap up this Great Hall. So let's see how things are going. All right. Almost there, almost there. Yeah, he definitely will finish it today. Because it's not that much longer. And of course he places the ones on the outside first before he builds this one. Because why would it be any other way? There we go. We have a spare room now, which also will improve the productivity of these two workstations. Which will be excellent. And now he's putting in some more flooring for the rest of the room, and we're just gonna set it all up so he can build even more. Let's make sure he is actually set to sleep when the day is over. He is. So that's very nice. And then, yeah, we'll take it from there. Merchant is actually arriving late at night, which means I should high prioritize this to cook at least 10. Because he has also built the flooring underneath everything that should not decay. Eddie is still bringing in... Why are you eating the cooked meat, man? Eat the raw meat. I wish there was a way to actually feed your animals. Like, give them dedicated, like, browse or, well, I guess, bowls for the dogs. Oh, hello. You are... Yep, let's see what you've got. Marijuana. Alright, we definitely want the... Oh, the aged fine wine is so expensive. Beets, cabbage, flax, no carrots? Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, so we're gonna sell all of our cooked meat. And then I think we're just gonna... that won't be enough. We need to have him cook a little bit more. Prioritize the production. And that should give us another 4. Let's actually do 20. Because again, unfortunately, it's fine wine. Well, it sounds nice, right? And I think he might actually enjoy this a little bit more than like beer, mead, or rough wine. Is it worth the money? In the beginning of the game, I don't quite think so. Alright, here we go. Now, let's sell all of our meat. Let's actually take some of the coins and see how much of the hay we can sell. Alright, let's give them a little bit extra, 1 gold coin extra. Make them a little bit happier with us. Accept. Yes. Pause. Set this back to free. And now Allan is gonna go and drink. Better enjoy the fine wine, mate. And off to bed he is. Alright. Also gonna set some flooring in here because I think that will help with the insulation. Maybe at least. And then we're gonna go ahead and start planning our defenses. So we're gonna fill up this corner. We're also gonna go over this way. And this side here wouldn't be able to be built. I guess we could actually try just put 2 extra walls in here. Beautiful. And then we can go over this way, continue like that. Build 1 more underneath here. Just like that. And then here we go. So this way we have built like some structures at least around here. Gonna add a few supports underneath. And like I mentioned before, later on we're gonna fill these up completely. We're gonna make sure we're doing something similar for our kitchen area, which will go over this way. And just put in the limestone walls underneath. This one I'm going to fill out completely because otherwise they might be able to knock through this and then climb up immediately. Prefer them not doing that. So here we go. 2 more and then 1 more here. And with that we have actually encapsulated the entire area this way. Now we have a little room here that I think will be quite nice. I'll actually add a window in here as well. And this area right there can actually, will become our prison. Because as we are planning now to be attacked sometime soon, I think it will be quite useful to plan ahead for having a prison cell come along. Well, not just come along. Be sort of in the making. We're gonna change this up a little bit because if we put the walls over here, what we can do is fill this out, put the door over here. We also have a little bit more space in there. Need to put 1 more area right there. Not area, 1 more limestone wall right here. Let's actually fill this up as well. And then we need to make sure that we can actually get up this way. So with the staircase up here, we will be able to reach that rooftop over this way. And that will allow us to, start building up our defenses. And that's exactly what we're also gonna plan right now. Gonna place walls over here, make them, again, 2 levels high, as this is the method that we're trying to use for defenses. And then we're gonna build the wall of doors or channel of doors in there that hopefully will be enough to keep us defended. Right, besides that, I think overall this is it. We'll already place some rooftop over here because if this area is built sooner, we can already move the kitchen area into its own designated space. But otherwise, that will become our little castle. Yeah, looks like a little mouth and 2 eyes. Alright. So as Allan is still building, how is it already the end of the day again? Crazy. I like that he's starting to build all of this here. Maybe he will actually finish the kitchen area for us before anything else. No, he's going to sleep now. That means when he wakes up tomorrow, he's probably going to build this part right there. Anyways, we're doing okay. We're now prepping for our second settler to arrive and the enemies in tow. So let's see how this goes. And I'm actually just going to end the episode right here. Fingers crossed that this will work out. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.